Anton, a high-ranking German general during World War II, was executed by a firing squad on December 1, 1945, for ordering the execution of 15 American soldiers. These soldiers, part of a covert operation called Ginny, had been dropped behind enemy lines in Italy in March 1944. Their mission was to disrupt German communications and transport networks. However, after their sabotage attempt failed, they were captured by German forces while hiding in a barn. The soldiers were wearing American military uniforms, which should have guaranteed them protection as prisoners of war under the Geneva Convention. However, Dossler, who was then in command of German forces in the region, received an order from Field Marshal Albert Kesselring to execute the soldiers under the Commando Order of 1942. This order, issued by Hitler, mandated that commando forces, including those dressed in enemy uniforms, be executed immediately. Despite the American soldiers wearing their official uniforms, Dossler followed through with the execution order, disregarding their rights as prisoners of war. Dossler's actions violated the Geneva Convention, which stipulated that soldiers captured in uniform must be treated as prisoners of war, not as spies or saboteurs. When the soldiers were executed by firing squad, they were lined up and shot without trial. The executions were carried out hastily, and the soldiers were buried in a mass grave. After the war, Dossler was captured by American forces. He claimed that he was merely following orders from Kesselring, and that the soldiers were not in uniform, which was proven false. He was tried as a war criminal, and despite attempting to appeal for clemency, his role in the illegal execution of the American soldiers led to his conviction. He was sentenced to death for ordering the unlawful killings. Dossler's execution was one of the first high-ranking German generals to be carried out by the Americans after the war. His death underscored the principle that even high-ranking officers are held accountable for war crimes, and following orders was not an acceptable defense. Interestingly, Kesselring, who had issued the original execution order, was not executed, though he had been involved in other atrocities.